Well, topping news tonight at 5. Iowa classrooms will be the first in the country to receive some new federal funding. Just today, the Trump administration's top education official, Secretary of Education Linda McMahon, joined Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds in Denison at the elementary school for the big announcement. Iowa State Capitol reporter Isabella Warren was there. She has more tonight about the funding.
It's all about giving power back to the states over education grants. U.S. Department of Education Secretary Linda McMahon says it's all about removing the bureaucratic red tape to help states have more control over federal funding. Earlier this year, Iowa applied for relief from some of the administrative requirements tied to federal education grants. This week, the U.S. Department of Education approved that request, making Iowa the first state in the country to receive the exemption and $9.5 million in education funding. Secretary McMahon says the move shifts money away from bureaucracy and into classrooms.
The total amount of the grant, the block grant that's coming in, is about $9.5 million. If we were operating under the old rules, it would take, according to the figures that were done in the state, about $8 million to comply with the regulations of this $9.5 million grant.
Governor Kim Reynolds says that savings comes from reduced staff times spent on paperwork and compliance.
Not spend so much time on compliance and paperwork and take that time and those resources and that expertise that these educators have and get them in front of our kids.
Iowa Department of Education Director Mackenzie Snow says the funding will support initiatives including hiring more teachers, expanding evidence-based learning, and strengthening those programs for low-income students. She says the state's recent progress helped secure the funding.
Early literacy is improving. Science proficiency is improving. Overall school performance is improving. Schools in need of support are improving.
Now, Iowa is the first in the nation to receive this funding, and Secretary McMahon says the state will be used as an example for schools across the nation. In Denison, I'm Isabella Warren.
Now, the location of today's grant announcement was one Governor Kim Reynolds selected herself. KTIV's Kaylee Doms continues our coverage tonight from that location.
Governor Kim Reynolds hosted the U.S. Department of Education Secretary Linda McMahon at Broadway Elementary School in Denison this afternoon, a location she herself handpicked. Governor Kim Reynolds chose Broadway Elementary School because she believed they are an Iowa success story that exemplifies everything this grant and flexibility is meant for. Now, Denison is a more diverse school district compared to an average Iowa school district. Department of Education Secretary Linda McMahon said that this grant is intended to bridge the gap between students and a good education, as well as to recognize that not one size fits all when it comes to education for Iowa students.
That's why we're here, by the way. I couldn't pick a better proof of concept with the initiatives that Dr. Snow and the legislature has put in place, with what Secretary Mann is making available today with the waiver, to really take what we've done and the good work that you guys have done here and continue to build on that.
Secretary McMahon agreed with Governor Kim Reynolds that this school exemplifies that and sets the bar high for other Iowa schools. She specifically noted the bilingual learning that happens at Broadway.
But I was incredibly impressed also with the bilingual aspect of courses being taught in English and in Spanish. Kids trading classrooms, and what they had learned in English, they learn in Spanish and vice versa. It takes a little different area of your brain.
Reynolds also added in the last year, literacy scores grew by 7% at Broadway Elementary.